You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, it's been a really weird week because I think with all the injuries that they've had a tough time establishing the identity that they want to establish. And week one without Spencer Sanders, and then receivers in and out, tailbacks in and out. It's been a challenge to try to corral it. We're gonna have to be very, very sharp within the game.
Looks like they found a tailback though.
They've got a stable of tailbacks. I tell you what, I'm very impressed with how those guys run, how they keep their feet moving, how they run through contact, the vision that they have. Those guys are excellent players.
What do you like most about your run defense?
I think the attitude that we're starting to develop with it is our guys are doing a good job of not allowing themselves to be blocked, of staying alive, we use the term changing the math. Sometimes when you get things drawn up offensively, you can maybe get a hat on a hat, and sometimes it takes somebody with a superhuman effort to change the math, so to speak, on the grease board, and we're doing that by and large with a lot of guys.
When replacing Khalid Duke, is it as simple as Nate Matlack's next guy up, or will we see someone different?
Well, Khalid's been in so many roles for us. I mean, we've used him as a linebacker, we've used him as a defensive end, so it's going to be replacement by committee. It's going to be Nate Matlack to a degree, Spencer Trussell to a degree when it comes to the defensive end stuff. It's going to be Ryan Hennington, Wayne Jones when it comes to some of the linebacker stuff, and they've been doing that, so I feel comfortable with all of those guys.
What do you see as the key to success between the 3-4 and the 4-3 that you guys are using this year?
Key to success in terms of when we're using it?
Alternating and keeping them on, throwing them on.
I think everything comes down to situational football. I mean, I think that's the bottom line, and everything we look at throughout the week is just situations and how we want to play those situations and what personnel gives us the best chance in those situations.
This three-man front, 3-3-5, was designed because of the spread offenses. Yet your run defense has been really good. Explain how that works to me.
Well, at the end of the day, it's all a numbers game. At the end of the day, we're just trying to outnumber them at the point of attack with everything that we're doing, run game or pass game. And sometimes the presentation can look a little bit different in some of the three-down stuff, and gives you a lot more flexibility than to look different ways than the four-down stuff does, when you have to kind of tilt your hand a little bit. And that was the main idea behind it, and it was designed for the RPO teams. And next thing you know, a guy raises up and throws an RPO glance into somebody that's standing right there in the glance window, and that's what that scares some teams into making them a little bit more one-dimensional and forcing them to run the football, and now we can tee off on that.
How valuable was Stubblefield's play on Saturday?
Reggie's been awesome. Reggie had a dynamite week of preparation. We knew he was going to play a lot. We made the decision to use him as the Sam linebacker so that we could play a little bit more man and do some different things with him against a team that we thought was going to throw the ball a little bit more. But he's very comfortable in the box. He's very good as a blitzer. The more he learns and the more he gets around here, he's going to be a bigger and bigger impact as the season goes on.
Can you kind of talk about,
Go ahead, man.
Can you kind of talk about Spencer Sanders and the challenges he presents?
Wow, I mean, for years he's been a guy that's been giving guys like me headaches, just keeping plays alive. He's got a good arm. He's been in this system. He understands what he's doing, and they're intelligent in how they use him. And I think that they're going to have to run him a little bit. I think we're gearing up for that as much as we can. But sometimes it's the non-designed runs that give you the most fits. The quarterback scrambles, the draws when they spread you out, those kind of things that They keep you up at night, because he's a difficult guy to get his hands on. He's a strong runner, and he can beat you in so many ways. And he's the deal.
Cody Fletcher had mentioned that kind of pausing the video and counting the hats at the end of a tackle. How many hats do you want to see when you freeze the tape?
11. Short answer, 11. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the mentality we're trying to get established.
If you don't have 11, does that mean extra running for the defense?
It's something that we emphasize throughout, we emphasize throughout spring and throughout fall camp to try to get that mentality. And, I think guys take pride in that right now. And when you look at some of the effort plays that we've made, I'll give you an example. The Jalen Pickle interception a couple of weeks ago. That was one of the best plays I've ever seen for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's just the intelligence of Ryan Hankton, get that ball up in the air and keep it alive. But Jalen Pickle just being in the vicinity, a defensive tackle being out on the numbers to make that play. It doesn't happen when guys are standing around watching the game. That happens when guys are screaming at the football, and that's what makes it really cool.
How valuable is Ryan Hennington? He starts off offense, secondary, moves up to linebacker, and it looks like you've used him in a different linebacker role a little bit.
Yeah, he's been in the box. He's been out of the box. We use him sometimes differently on third down because he can flat run. He's smart enough and cares enough to learn a bunch of different spots, and he can athletically do a lot of things. I mean, he's a guy that can play man coverage if we need to. He's done that stuff before. And so, really we used him and Reggie a little bit last week interchangeably, and we weren't afraid to place a man when he was out there, whether it was tight ends or receivers. And so his versatility makes us better.
How did you react to the excessive celebration penalty?
I don't know. I think I was excessively celebrating at the same time, so I don't know if I saw it. We want our guys to have fun. We want our guys to set an NCAA record for fun playing football. And but in the same time, we've got to be intelligent about how we're doing it. This isn't the National Football League. We can't run over there and carry on. So from now on, we're going to have that same amount of fun, but we're going to do it on our sideline where it's safe.
How do you teach out there in practice where there's a fine line between celebrating and not doing it excessively?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think when guys are celebrating together, I think it's a great thing. I think when guys are individually kind of making a spectacle of themselves, I don't know if that's what college football is about.
T obviously had the interception. What are you seeing out of him right now?
T's been awesome. T's been getting better and better as he gets more and more confidence. He's going to play a lot more. His technique has been good. His physicality is so much improved. His understanding has always been very good. He's a super intelligent football player. So, I'm glad we've got him for a long time to come here.
How big of a fan is Joe Klanderman of the transfer portal?
I got a couple of different opinions on that, but yeah, I mean, obviously it's been good for us, and I think the reason that it's been good for us is because Coach Kleiman's such a good judge of character, and I think it's good and bad to that. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that had some transfers that they picked up that are just now rearing their ugly heads of maybe their true identity, and I think the true identity of our guys is they're superb people, and they make us a lot better in the locker room and on the field.
Brennan Presley was once a standout at camp for you guys. Now he's one of their best players. Gave you some issues last year. Just what do you think about him and what he does for them?
They're going to use him all over the place. I mean, he's a guy that's going to get a number of touches. He's a difficult guy to get your hands on in man. He's got speed, I think, to get over the top of you. He reminds me a lot of Phillip Brooks and what he does for our offense. Obviously had a play a year ago that we missed him in the backfield for what I guess ultimately was the winning touchdown. And we're going to have to try to throw a lot of people around him.
Having not played a road game, how do you get your guys ready to go for the hostile Stillwater environment?
You just go. I mean, I'm hoping that our guys are so focused on the task at hand and just executing their stuff one play at a time that they can be in hell. It doesn't matter, and to just we're going to go out there and try to do our thing.
It appears you've gotten through 3 games without exposing too much of your blitz packages. Is that in fact the case?
Yeah, again, situational football. I mean, it's going to dictate what we do and how we do it, and I think we've got a lot of stuff in the cachet. If that's what you're asking, we do.
We talked to a couple of the teammates the other day. They just said Khalid was really down. Has the week gone on? Has he gotten a little bit better?
He has, yeah. And Khalid's so good as a teammate. Obviously upset just because he cares and wants to be out there and wants to help us. But he is. I mean, he understands the situation that he's in. Don't enjoy it, but he understands it, and he's going to work to get back. And I think he's seeing the success of guys like T.J. Smith that have had that similar type of thing and are now back performing at a high level. And I think that's the goal for him.